the land use subcommittee meeting of the East Richmond Heights Municipal Advisory Council on Wednesday, January 3rd at 5 p.m. I will start by taking the roll call. Jim Ray.
Here.
Okay. And myself, Joanne Pavlik, present. So the two of us make up the subcommittee for the MAC. And I believe we have one item on our agenda tonight. And that is county file number CDVR. I don't mind if I just read the meeting. Is that okay? I think that's one. Yeah. I'm kind of used to doing it. County file number CDVR 23-01065. The applicant requests approval of a variance to replace an existing railing retaining wall of over 3 feet high in height within the front yard setback. So there's public comment. I don't believe there's anyone.
No, we don't have anyone on.
Okay. And did we get any emails or anything on this from anybody? Okay. So I guess I'd like to give the applicant the opportunity to, I don't know if we have any images or not. Actually, it's provided.
I have extra copies of the,
I did take some photographs so that I could pass them around if anybody's interested. They're not that revealing. It's finally yesterday and this, so that I could see all of the vinyl covering up to keep it from going any further. But you know, this is next door, so they have CMU retaining wall. You got a CMU?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know, does that help you, Jim?
Yeah.
Not Ronnie, did you want to look at that one? This is, I'm just saying, this is the house right here. Yeah, so this is the house we're looking at, and you could tell the front yard is all covered, it's pretty high from the sidewalk, all covered with plastic to keep the rain from penetrating, I guess now. And this is the next door property.
okay.
They have a CMU wall with a brick cap. So anyway.
Yeah. I have also the variance is not printed out here. But it had pictures on it.
Oh. Oh, they should send that. Maybe you want to make a note.
Yes, I don't think I.
That's so helpful. I mean,
Yeah.
for us,
If you look on Google Earth, you can see the retaining wall. But not Google Earth, on the street maps.
Oh,
You can see-
before it failed, you mean?
Yeah, it didn't fall over, but it was, the property is weird, so, you know, it's on a hill and then the street actually has like a 5% grade, as you saw, so it's hard to describe the hill, it's like 4 feet tall on one end and it's 6 feet tall on the other end, and on that end, it
Oh,
was
right.
leaning about like that.
So it's going down, you're
Goes
facing
down.
your property.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes down and then, it's basically it's just insufficient. Didn't have any horizontal rebar and the footer was only a foot wide, I think. Okay.
Is it Dave's? I think Dave is tour in the Google Maps.
Yes, I think that's right.
Dave's one, right?
Yeah, that's what it was, I guess.
Yeah,
And I thought you had a lot of planting there. That was surprising.
yeah,
It didn't.
yeah. I think that's a good tour in the Google.
And then, yeah, this is definitely the house.
Yeah, so
So
So yours kind of matched your,
there's the footer.
where's the foot?
You can see my foot.
Oh,
Like it's literally that wide.
oh, I see it. It's, yeah.
So
But was it connected with rebar?
it was connected with rebar.
Yeah.
It had,
can I think that's what
that was the footer and you can see my foot's on it.
Was there drainage in the?
There was no drainage rock behind it.
That's
There's also
probably a major problem.
There's also a yard drain that, it looks like when they built the wall, they covered the cleanout up.
Oh.
It's like,
That's the probably the reason, maybe if I put a French drain or something, that really direct the water out.
So that was the idea,
Just
to,
water.
what I wanted to do is replace it with a wall that's about the height of the neighbor's wall, which I guess is. I think the neighbor's wall is about 40 inches tall. So I think that's the permit guys, the inspector guy said it has to be 3 feet or less for a permit. But like the neighbor's wall is,
Above 3 feet, I mean,
it's above 3 feet.
it has to have a permit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it's, the house is built about 9 feet above the street level,
Mhm.
roughly. So, you could build 2 walls, but then you're just sort of like digging into the hillside. And then the neighbor's retaining wall doesn't match that, so then
Mhm.
it seemed the simplest thing to do is just put a 4-foot wall and a 3 to 4 foot wall above it.
Yeah, it seems like I kind of measured it, but
If you,
the CMU is about 40 inches tall, and the board is between 40 and 46, so it's close to 4 feet right now.
Yeah,
It depends, it's hard to know where to measure it from, because there's empty space and, yeah. Oh,
so if you put a 4-foot wall, the next wall needs to be at least a 4-foot distance from the first wall. I think that should be fine.
so are you want to tell us anything else, or we move it to the subcommittee to ask questions, is that, I guess we can kind of be informal, you're the only.
I think that's it. It's like, it's pretty simple. It's like, that was a retaining wall, but I felt it was a hazard, especially last winter. And developed step back, so I had to take it.
So, the drawings don't show what you're replacing it with.
The drawings are. Looks like.
Oh, it says CMU.
Concrete.
It says material concrete masonry units. Oh, is it concrete or is it concrete CMUs?
Drawing is sort of. Printing isn't of the entire drawing. So they said to do an architectural, C size or B size, so this is. These are.
Okay, so one says, some of the drawings say concrete,
Yeah,
and
there's
some of
a
them say CMU.
the previous one, I did 4 pages, I should have printed them out, just, I wouldn't have, Dennis told I wouldn't have to, but, I printed out 4 sheets, drawings, one is a front view, a top view, a side view, and then the last page was the previous wall. So that's what.
Oh, okay, that's the one that says CMU.
But that one's CMU, and then the replacement wall would be concrete.
Well, I guess I just have a couple of questions. So do you have engineering drawings?
Huh?
Do you have an engineer working on this?
I don't have an engineer working on that. There's the permit guy said I didn't need one, but I'm not sure about that.
Well, who's gonna do, how are you gonna get what size footing and how the drainage is gonna work?
Well, the drainage is pretty simple. It's just standard sort of retaining wall stuff.
Are you personally doing this, or are
I
you?
hired a contractor to do that. So,
Well, those are my major concerns. I have a couple of major concerns. One, and we're used to looking at details.
Yeah.
We're both an architecture background,
okay.
and so we're used to looking at detail drawings, and
Yeah.
this doesn't have a lot of
Yeah,
detail.
I did a spreadsheet formula to calculate the amount of rebar needed in the wall and strength. So.
Yeah, so my concerns are that your
I would be-
contractor has drawings I've heard so many stories lately about contractors, even when they have drawings. Not following the drawings, and I guess I'm really concerned that one, you don't have any details, and two,
I had another, so.
I don't know how,
Okay,
you don't
so
have drawings, how the contractor.
So what I had was, they asked me to do a permit, and the inspector said, just do a drawing of the wall that you're building it. I submitted that, and they said they need a variance. So,
So is your permit for the planning department, or do you need a building, or are they requiring?
So- I believe I need both. I need a variance to actually
Okay,
build the wall as I expected. And then I would need I believe I need a permit
yeah,
that's
Building
actually
permit,
a building permit. And that would require a drawing with the detail
okay,
and,
okay, and then the drainage.
yeah.
Yeah.
The drainage,
and the rebar and whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah, so it needs, my assumption is, so the first wall is the most important, it's a 4-foot wall with,
The first part near your house, or the second, or
by the street. The lowest down wall takes all the way.
okay,
The upper wall is 2 to 4 feet retaining wall and there's no surcharge. That's like. So that one needs to hold all the weight. So that needs they both need the proper drainage. So it'd be a monolithic pour with crushed gravel inside a geofabric with a drain pipe that drains out at the bottom. Is what I would think. That I would think would be, that I think I need that for the building permit.
right,
yes,
I need to have that spec'd out properly. And inspector said I don't need to get that assigned drawing. I'm suspicious that they do.
well, maybe for
Depends.
maybe for something this minimal, the department feels comfortable. I don't know,
Yeah.
you probably were building permits.
yeah, I think, if it's a short wall, I mean, if you get a standard detail.
Yeah.
And submit it to show this is how you do
Right.
a 6-inch or 8-inch concrete wall with the rebar and call out the size of the rebar.
Oh,
You don't necessarily need.
So I do have a drawing
Mhm,
for that,
mhm,
for the lower wall at least.
mhm. With the footing.
Yeah, and that I submitted to the permit department and then they kicked it back and said a variance. So
Yeah.
that's why I think I'm here.
Oh, okay,
So as I said, I just sort of like, bear with me, I don't know the process. Because
Okay.
I've never done this before, but.
oh, you're
some
doing
is-
great.
So you're
So I need a
You're
variance,
really doing
I
great.
need a variance in order to get the building permit.
Yes.
yeah,
And then the building
Yeah.
permit people. My thought was is that I would clean up the detail drawing I did. And submit it to them, and
Yeah.
resubmit it after I get the variance. If they kick it back, I need to get it signed, then I'll try and find somebody to sign it.
okay,
I tried to call like 5 contractors.
Yeah,
And 3 of them didn't want to do anything to that size, and then one of them, I never got back.
too big or too small?
They're too small,
Okay,
yeah, and one company I talked to, they were like, we'll do the drawings to replace the exact wall for $7,000, or it's 15 grand to move it at all. So I was like, it's like more than the wall would cost. So I'm like, so I did the drawings myself.
uh-huh,
I took drafting in high school and one class in college, so.
okay, so I guess the other, besides the technical questions, the other question I have is, it's a 4 feet concrete wall. And I'm just wondering, because especially there's the front wall
Yeah.
specifically, is there any texture, is there? I mean, we're kind of like, in a way, looking at design too for
Yeah.
the neighborhood, and I mean, even using wall boards and having that impression of a board in the concrete. Or something to give it some articulation. I don't know how you feel about that, Jen Wei.
yeah, what are you planning to make the wall look like? You're gonna paint it, you're gonna do mural, I don't know, I just say what it.
Is he gonna cap it? Was there gonna be a decorative cap? or-
Yeah, it's hard to say because like none of the other concrete walls in the property aren't like.
On your
They're very
property.
plain, yeah, I can show
But
you.
this is at the public. I'm just talking about the front wall, right at the sidewalk.
Part of my thought was that if I pushed it back, because it was 4 feet from the sidewalk on the left side and it was right at the sidewalk on the right side.
Oh,
So
at
the
Jason's.
original wall was just like, the 6 foot part of the wall was just right at the sidewalk. But my thought was is to push that back so it's 4 feet, and then I could plant something in front of it, and that would probably look nicer than, concrete wall. But I wouldn't, if you guys, I'm sort of open to suggestions. You know,
Well, that is gonna be quite expensive to push that back for 4 foot, it would not be a cheap job.
huh?
It won't be, it will be pricey to push the wall back 4 foot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it will be
but I thought that
pricey.
having the wall a little farther back from the sidewalk, so it's not like just, you walk by the sidewalk and there's this wall like this.
Well, that's why we're
Yeah.
kind of getting at doing some sort of
Yeah.
texture or
Yeah.
something to articulate the concrete, because even if you plant something.
You can
No.
still see it.
Plus, plants don't always cooperate. And sometimes they're kind of difficult, so,
Depending plants, some plants might later damage your footing and push
Yeah.
the footing in and out. So depending on what the plants you're gonna put there. Well, what do you think? So Joanne, are you thinking about some kind of a?
no, I'm just thinking of something that would be simple.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have any other, because you could get, if you're, obviously you gotta put up
You can always, I've
the.
seen stuff that like, they put a concrete wall and then they put some sort of like facing on it.
Yeah.
Either like, like brick, or you can also do textured concrete. I haven't thought about that so much. Part of the reason I did this is I got sick this summer, so then I was kind of like, I need to button a bunch of stuff up so I can get the sewer lateral done. There's things that my girlfriend probably wouldn't be able to do. So I was kind of in a hurry. But I'm not, if that's a requirement, I can certainly add something like that. I haven't really thought so much.
yeah, so just some like a little texture, those you're thinking.
That's what I
like,
was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, so when you,
So when you make your forms, they're
Yeah.
part of the forms.
yeah. So when you make a form, you put the board, so you give the board just like a little gap.
Yeah. So that's a little, so it's not just this flat wall.
Yeah, that between the board, then after you pour it, you will have this horizontal line.
Yeah.
The only detail how you do it is when you have the board, you kind of give the board kind of like a half-inch,
Yeah,
like a quarter to half-inch gap.
right.
So the concrete will come out just a little bit.
And a lot of times you even get the grain of the wood,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so it just makes it more interesting.
Yeah,
So that was my assumption on that, was that it would be, you would have the horizontal grain for the boards and the gaps. I didn't ever specify that.
Well, basically, we're here to make recommendations to Supervisor Joya. And then we also respond to the planner on your project about our meeting and what our recommendations are. So I just want to show the process. So after the meeting tonight, we'll send an email to the planner with whatever we recommend. You'll get a copy of it. John, Supervisor Joyce will get a copy of it. So that's kind of the process. And,
yeah, then the planner will review it to say, okay, they approve it, then I can go into the permit the building department, and then they look at your detail, to say you did a rebar and your drainage. I think we're gonna to have a drainage and the footing to make sure the water will not just to push the water in.
Yeah.
So when you have those detail, I think that the public, if you will, issue the permit.
So, yeah, I
Yeah.
have as I said, I do have a more detailed drawing on the wall. So I guess what I wasn't sure, because the variance sounds like the building permit would primarily towards, patch homes on flat properties, so. And I think something like this. You would,
Well, if you approve a variance, you have to have something on your property that is different from other properties.
Yeah,
And you have you
yeah.
have something that hinders
I did do
your property being built versus maybe 50 to 195% of other
Yeah.
properties on the flat. So
They were very-
certainly you're in,
they were very helpful. They said there's sort of three
That's
tests.
right.
And
that's one of them.
it was, you know, it's like, it's not giving you a benefit that other neighbors don't
Right.
have. And so my argument with that is, it's that other neighbors on the same street have retaining walls. Same that I do on the uphill side, so they can have sort of a flat yard. And then, I can't remember the second one.
Oh, it's probably something you don't have any negative impacts on what you, I know there's three, and I, from dealing with these before, I think you're certainly within the realm of all of that.
I did submit a letter, which isn't printed out.
Yeah, I'm looking through what the planner sent to me. I don't see the letter, any letter.
I think there's two. Yeah, it's very inside, there's a PDF. As I said, I should have printed this all out just in case.
Yeah, just what I have printed there is what was sent over to me, but I can reach out to get that. That's pertinent information. Yeah, so the letter sent over, unfortunately.
So you're asking to go around the zoning requirements, but it's because you have valid reason.
Yeah, and
That's,
basically. What I was told is anything taller than 3 feet in the setback, which I guess is 20 feet, 25 feet from the center of the road or something like that. Needs a variance, and since it's a 4-foot retaining wall, it needs a variance. So 4 feet, another 4 feet. But because my house is on a hill that's got a 20% grade, and my
Yeah.
house is higher up than the other house in the street, I think, because the street dips down pretty
Okay.
sharply in front of my house. So, so it's about 8 feet, where most other people, I think their houses are somewhere between, 4 and 5 feet.
Okay,
3 to 5 feet, depending.
okay,
So, and it doesn't change the nature of the property at all.
yeah,
It's already, previously it was retaining wall. I don't. Whether that was permitted or permitted. It's
Oh.
kind of like,
back then, who knows, people just build things,
yeah,
yeah,
well, I don't know, obviously, I think obviously to me, but generally, we're gonna recommend approval of the
Yeah.
retaining wall.
Yeah.
But we may wanna do it with some recommendations or conditions.
for the look of it.
Yeah, for the look of it.
Uh-huh.
And maybe just to add that we assume that there's gonna be structural details for footing, drainage, and rebar.
Yeah.
So. Do we wanna, just recommend approval with those two conditions?
Yeah, I think that should be fair, good enough.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, so what we're gonna obviously, we're gonna recommend is just recommend approval for the variance with the conditions that it have some sort of texture or interest to at least the lower wall at
Yeah.
the sidewalk level. And that we want to ensure that it's, I won't say engineer, but that appropriate details for building, for drainage, rebar, and the footing sizing
Yeah,
are submitted to the building department for
Yeah.
approval.
he's got. I don't know if you can get into my file.
What was sent over to me from the planner is what I printed out, so
Uh-huh.
yeah, I don't have any
You
additional.
don't have any.
But I'm sending an email out to actually have that on.
I can also send you guys, I can also email you the documents if that's helpful.
I don't think we need them. I think we just
Yeah.
recommend approval with
Because we
those
don't
two
read-
conditions.
yeah,
Do you want me to write it up, or do you want to write it up, Jinwei?
I can write it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know I guess the planner's name is on here.
Tools, I believe.
Do we have email?
Yes. Tools is on there.
Oh, here it is, yeah, Walton at DTCD, so I guess,
Oh, which one?
it's on the,
Okay.
so here's the email.
Okay,
And then if you send it to me and to Ronnie,
okay.
and we don't have your email, or do we? Here's,
It should be on the application summary.
let's see,
DASFOO.
yeah, here it is, it's on, I don't know if it's on there, but. Not the for EASFOO at Fastmail.
Fastmail.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Okay,
so
sure.
just those few recommendations.
Sure.
That's great.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that should be enough for the data retaining wall.
Okay, do you have any questions about our recommendation or anything?
I could just ask what my understanding is of, sometimes I like to, sometimes either people have stuff to tell me, and I listen, or I tell people what I think is supposed to happen, and people can correct me, but I think this meeting is understanding that you give a recommendation to the planning department, whether or not to grant the variance, and then hopefully they take your recommendation and grant it,
Yeah,
with whatever writers you put on it.
yeah,
Then there's, they have to do a bunch of paperwork, and then I think there's a 60-day comment period or something like that
okay.
for the variance. Is that correct?
Oh, I didn't think that.
Do you
I
think
thought
so?
we prove it and then that could be
Then
done.
it'll be
Yeah,
done?
yeah,
I
because
think probably something that somebody in the neighborhood could appeal it.
Yeah.
There's probably an appeal period, but I don't think it's usually 60 days,
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
30 days.
30 days.
yeah, okay.
So then, if they give me the variance, then I can get the permit and have drawings for the permit.
Mhm.
My assumption is I can take what I've done for the variance and make sure the drawings match this,
Mhm.
and then hopefully they'll approve that.
If
Yeah,
you want to expedite it, you might send your drawings to the planner too. Because usually the building department will send what you submitted back to the planner, because they have to sign off on it, that you met everything in the planning department.
yeah. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'll work on that to make sure I get the drawings with the
Mhm.
details done. And I'll try to definitely to take your advice and include it, finished detail for the concrete.
Mhm. Yeah, it's very simple to do it. You just have to have a gap between the board.
I was
That's
gonna
it.
have these
Yeah.
guys. That's right. I've been going to doctors a lot. My refrain is, I sort of trust but sometimes it's not true.
If you're going to watch over contract.
You
But
really
if
do.
you
We're gonna
don't-
watch them very carefully.
Yeah, you don't
Yes.
watch them, they're not gonna make that happen. because
Yeah, and I always think-
happen.
It's better to catch it while they're in the middle of it than let it happen and
Yeah.
have to go back.
Right,
And
Yeah.
they tear it down and let's do it right.
Yeah, you got to watch them, you got to look at the rebar, you got to dig the depth you need, and you could actually put on the rebar. Based on the drawing, if, because it's contractor, sometimes,
my ex-wife,
You never know.
brother-in-law was an inspector for the state school system, for the state for schools, and he said his job was telling contractors. Not like the drawing says. Because they're always trying to.
I just had a friend of mine go
Yeah.
through that where they built a handrail, they never looked at the drawings.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a meeting maybe when they start and show them the drawings or
Yeah.
go over
Yeah.
that.
yeah, so you just talk to them, should I attach some kind of picture in the recommendation?
Yeah, of the board concrete,
Yeah,
that would be
something
great.
like that.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, maybe I'll attach the picture, so you can show that the contractor is really simple to build, it's not gonna cost you any extra dime. Just when it to the board, they just need a bigger gap. Yeah.
So,
I think we're doing that.
Yeah, that's all.
But thank you for coming here. A lot
Yeah.
of times we don't have the applicant show, but it's Ronnie's new too, so it's really,
Yeah.
it's really important for Ronnie to hear that it's really important for him, make sure that will show up.
Yeah.
Because we don't have anyone to answer questions.
Yes.
It increases your chance of being kicked back.
Yes.